Hello there, I'm Nadia Azmi and this is Nightline. News making the headlines. Government willing to look into addressing gaps in anti-hopping law, says Prime Minister. And government to study need for stronger laws to curb cyberbullying. Good morning. The government is open to discussions on making legal amendments to plug any loopholes in the anti-party hopping law. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim reminded all parties that when the anti-hopping law was being drafted, Pakatan Harapan had insisted that anyone removed from a party should be automatically disqualified as an MP, but the suggestion was rejected.
Dulu kita yang cadangkan supaya mana-mana yang ditolak oleh parti ditolak, tapi itu tidak dipersetujui oleh kerajaan pada masa itu, khususnya Bersatu. Sekarang dia dah kena sebab masa itu diambil banyak orang UMNO lompat ke parti dia. Boleh, tapi lompat daripada parti dia keluar tak boleh. Jadi bagi saya kalau nak pindah tak apa, kita bincang pindahan supaya siapa saja tepatnya biar jelas.
On Thursday, Dewan Rakyat Speaker Tan Sri Johari Abdul made the decision not to vacate the 6 seats held by members of parliament who were sacked by Bersatu for declaring their support for the unity government. Johari said he had conducted studies and read all statements regarding Article 49 of the Federal Constitution before deciding on the matter. As it was done in accordance with the law, Anwar has also defended Johari's decision, saying Bersatu President Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin needed to read the interpretation of the Federal Constitution's anti-hopping law in its entirety rather than selectively. The 6 MPs at the centre of the controversy are Datuk Syed Abu Hussein Hafiz Said Abdul Fasal, Bukit Gantang, Datuk Dr. Suhaili Abdul Rahman Labuan, Zahari Kecik Jetli, Muhammad Azizi Abu Naim Gua Musang, Datuk Iskandar Zulkarnain Abdul Khalid Kuala Kangsar and Datuk Dr. Zulkapri Hanapi Tanjung Karang. Meanwhile, Communications Minister Fahmi Fadil told the opposition not to portray themselves as heroes on the issue involving the 6 former Bersatu members of parliament. He said this was because the Bersatu MPs had opposed amendments to the anti-party hopping law in 2022.
If they want to blame anybody, blame Tan Sri Muhyiddin. Blame Hamzah. Blame themselves. Blame Razi Jidin. Tanya siapa yang paling tidak mahu menyaksikan pindaan menyeluruh. Jadi jangan sekarang nak tunjuk hero.
On another matter, Anwar wants the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission MCMC and the police to take stern action to curb the escalating cyberbullying issue which has led to loss of life. Fahmi, who is also the Unity Government spokesman, said that the matter was conveyed by the Prime Minister when chairing the Cabinet meeting on Friday.
Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri juga telah menyatakan rasa cukup tidak puas hati beliau terhadap kejadian-kejadian buli cyber dan beliau telah meminta supaya pihak MCMC, PDRM mengambil tindakan yang sangat tegas dan kita perlu berusaha untuk menghentikan buli cyber daripada berterusan.
At a press conference after the cabinet meeting, Fahmi stated that 3 measures will be taken to tackle the problem, including reviewing existing laws such as the Penal Code and the Communications and Multimedia Act. His ministry will also scrutinise if there is a need to enact a new law specifically for cyberbullying, as well as examine methods to reduce the presence of fake accounts. Fahmi added that the MCMC and the police have also agreed to review and simplify the process for complainants to lodge reports on cyberbullying. He further said that TikTok has also agreed to meet with his ministry next week to address the issue. The ministry is also planning to hold a national campaign to enhance online safety and promote safer internet use. The issue of cyberbullying came under the spotlight following the death of TikTok influencer A. Rajaswari, better known as Isha, who allegedly took her own life after receiving threats from cyberbullies. A syndicate that scammed investors of over 3.29 million ringgit in a purported livestock farming business has been busted with the arrest of 11 people. Bukit Aman Commercial Crime Investigation Department CCID Director Datuk Sri Ramli Muhammad Yusof said 85 police reports had been lodged nationwide regarding the investment scheme, with total losses amounting to 3.29 million ringgit.
Melalui operasi yang dilaksanakan pada 26 Jun 2024, sejumlah serbuan telah dilakukan di beberapa premis di sekitar Perak, Selangor, Kuala Lumpur, Melaka, Terengganu dan Labuan bagi menahan ahli sindiket penipuan pelaburan ayam Kampung Pertubuhan Amal Kita Kinta Perak.
Ramli said those arrested comprised 8 men and 3 women aged between 38 to 56. They are believed to have conducted various roles within the syndicate, such as founders, directors, secretaries, agents and volunteers. Based on investigations, the syndicate, operating since early 2023, purportedly offered investments related to the Ayam Kampung or free-range chicken farming business. The investment program required a minimum investment of 250 ringgit, promising returns of 13 ringgit per month or an exchange of 1 Ayam Kampung. Investor funds were deposited into bank accounts registered under the organization's name. However, from September 2023, investors no longer received the promised returns. Police have 34 frozen bank accounts with savings totaling 6.5 million ringgit, seized 13 luxury vehicles worth 2.9 million ringgit, as well as more than 2,000 sheep. Meanwhile, Ramli said police are investigating the theft of over 2 million ringgit from 2 fixed deposit accounts of a local bank in Kuala Kangsar, Perak. He said authorities are currently tracking down several individuals to assist in the probe. According to Ramli, the bank lodged a police report on July 9th after the account holders complained that some of their money had been withdrawn. Checks by the bank revealed that one of their staff had withdrawn the money and deposited into several savings accounts. However, the bank employee, who was also the main suspect in the case, was found dead on July 5th.
Kegiatan kaki tangan ini hanya terbongkar apabila pada 27 Jun 2024, 2 orang pemilik akaun simpanan tetap terbabit hadir ke bank untuk membuat pengeluaran wang dari akaun simpanan tetap mereka. Setelah semakan dibuat, didapati sebahagian daripada sijil akaun simpanan tetap mereka telah ditutup.
Ramli stated that despite the main suspect's death, investigations into the case would continue under Section 408 of the Penal Code for criminal breach of trust. The Home Ministry is ready to extend the validity of Malaysian international passports to 10 years, an increase from the present 5, following studies and consultations on its suitability. Home Minister Datuk Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said at the moment the date for its implementation has not been decided, but the ministry will be making an announcement on the matter.
Mengeluarkan pasport untuk sah laku 10 tahun. Jadi kita dah bersedia, tapi saya sebut ayatnya, kita sudah pun bersedia, tetapi tarikh pelaksanaannya itu kita akan umumkan.
Saifuddin was speaking to reporters after opening the Immigration Department Passport Office at the Kota Kinabalu International Airport on Friday. He said the Immigration Department has conducted several feasibility studies to evaluate Malaysia's readiness to introduce such passports, following similar practices by other nations. He noted that at present, neighbouring countries such as Thailand, Indonesia, the Philippines and Singapore, as well as the US and Italy, issue 10-year passports. Meanwhile, Saifuddin expressed pride as the Malaysian international passport was ranked the 12th most influential passport in the world and 5th in Asia. He said the measure of the reputation or credibility of a passport is based on the fact that many countries allow visa-free entry for Malaysian passport holders. The management of a shopping mall in the capital city has halted the operation of a vape vending machine on its premises following concerns over the easy access of such products to customers. This after the Health Ministry met with the management to explain the prohibition on the sale and display of smoking products. In a statement, the ministry said the ban on selling e-cigarettes through vending machines was provided for under Rule 10 of the Control of Tobacco Product Regulations 2004 under the Food Act 1983. It said that the impending Control of Smoking Products for Public Health Act 2024, also known as Act 852, would also prohibit the sale and display of all smoking products, including through vending machines. This regulation is currently being refined and will be enforced alongside Act 852 once approved. The ministry also said it had been conducting briefings for enforcement officers and local authorities nationwide since June 9th to prepare for the enforcement of Act 852 and its regulations. It added that the ministry would continue to raise awareness about the dangers of smoking and e-cigarette use. On Wednesday, it was reported that social media users were up in arms over a vape vending machine set up at a prominent mall in Kuala Lumpur. Biden confuses Zelensky with Putin. This and more from the Foreign Front when we return.
Unexpected.
Hilarious lah, I would say.
Sangat santai. Wow.
Tanya, ternyata Saka Perawan ni lain dapat lain.
Classic horror comedy. Nowadays we don't have these kind of movies anymore.
Kemunculan selebriti yang legend. Saya suka semua scene yang Azmi. Laju dia buat kerja.
Something yang ditunggu-tunggu di hujung.
9/10.
Solid 8 out of 10. Saya bagi 8.
Saya bagi 8.
8.
Kalau ikutkan orang kata, oh awak berhijab, tak perlulah jaga sangat rambut, tak perlulah jaga kulit kepala. Oh tidak.
Kulit kepala gatal dan kemerahan.
Antara simptom utama untuk penyakit seborrheic dermatitis ialah ada kegatalan, especially pada kulit kepala.
Apakah antara penyebab rambut gugur? Kulit kepala ni kalau dia terlebih berminyak, jadi kulat tu suka tumbuh dan membiak. Diskusi mengenai kering, kuping dan kelimumur di Hello Doktor Ahad 5.30 petang di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton. Open your hearts and minds for a look into the challenges and triumphs of life after incarceration.
We hope that the acceptance, the awareness from the communities to make sure that these prospects will return to society and bring them a new life after the imprisonment.
Kepercayaan, peluang kedua kepada orang-orang macam kami supaya kami boleh bertahan, boleh berubah dan kami boleh cuba buat yang terbaik.
TV3 live stream on Tonton.
We're back with news from the Foreign Front. United States President Joe Biden mixed up the names of Vice President Kamala Harris and his rival Donald Trump on Thursday, but insisted he was pushing ahead with his re-election bid.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be Vice President, but I think she was not qualified to be President. So let's start there.
The president also coughed frequently and occasionally gave garbled responses at the outset of a high-stakes press conference, and towards the end, his answers often trailed off before he completed his thoughts. Prior to that, Biden mistakenly referred to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky as President Putin at the NATO summit in Washington, drawing gasps from those in the room.
And now I want to hand it over to the President of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. You can beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin, we got to worry about it. Anyway, Mr. President.
I'm better.
You are a hell of a lot better.
Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Biden's campaign has been struggling for 2 weeks since his poor debate performance against Trump, with more of his fellow Democrats urging him to end his campaign. Turkey President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said on Thursday that attempts to cooperate with Israel within NATO are not acceptable. Speaking in Washington after the NATO leaders summit, Erdogan emphasized that the Israeli administration's actions undermine alliance values, making continued partnership with NATO untenable. He asserted that no cooperation with Israel will be approved by Turkey until a comprehensive, sustainable peace is achieved in Palestine. Erdogan also stressed that it is important that responsible members of the international community join hands for a two-state solution between Israel and Palestine based on the 1967 borders. Despite this, he expressed happiness that the number of countries recognizing Palestine is increasing and urged other countries to file complaints against Israel at the International Court of Justice (ICJ). The Philippines on Friday said the country will stand their ground in the ongoing dispute with Beijing over the South China Sea. The Philippine National Security Advisor Eduardo Ano said that Manila would not back down, even though the countries agreed last week to de-escalate tensions over the disputed reefs and water. He added that they will continue to push back against coercion, interference, malign influence and other tactics that seek to jeopardize security and stability. Tensions have heightened in the past 18 months, marked by confrontations between Philippine and Chinese vessels. The most significant incident occurred on June 17th when China Coast Guard personnel armed with knives, sticks and an axe surrounded and boarded 3 Philippine Navy boats on a resupply mission to 2nd Thomas Shoal in the Spratly Islands. Two buses carrying at least 65 people were swept by a landslide into a rain-swollen river in Nepal on Friday, with 3 survivors rescued after swimming to safety. The vehicles were swept off the Narayang-Mungling highway west of the capital Kathmandu. Officials said there were 41 people in the first bus travelling from Kathmandu to Gaur, while the second from Birgunj to Kathmandu had 24 passengers. However, it is thought that more may have boarded en route. A government administrator said the 3 survivors were taken by residents to a nearby hospital where they are now being treated. Authorities have mobilized the military and police to search for the missing passengers, but the continuous rain was making rescue efforts difficult, with landslides blocking the route leading to the area in several places. Luck of the draw gives Zijia easy passage in group stage. Sports after this breather.
Doktor kata kalau cara yang terbaiknya pembedah lah. Ganti tulis lain. Tulis tu terpaksa kena buat lah. Tapi kos dia masa tu saya fikir doktor kata kos dia lah. Saya fikir nak cari duit kat mana. Tapi kita usahalah minta kebajikan hospital semua gitulah. Lebih tu sendirilah doktor kata kena bayar. Pergi kat kebajikan kata awak kena bayar juga separuh.
Mira nak kongsikan sedikit panduan keselamatan anak ketika di luar rumah. Pastikan keadaan sekeliling, pantau pergerakan anak dan jangan biarkan mereka berkeliaran jauh daripada anda. Elakkan pemakaian barang kemas yang berlebihan. Yang terakhir, boleh bawa whistle bersama. Jerit sekuat hati atau tiup whistle untuk menarik perhatian orang sekeliling sekiranya diganggu atau merasa terancam. Dapatkan pelbagai informasi bermanfaat bersama Nona setiap Ahad jam 2 petang di TV3.
Open your hearts and minds for a look into the challenges and triumphs of life after incarceration.
We hope that the acceptance, the awareness from the communities to make sure that these prospects will return to society and bring them a new life after the imprisonment.
Kepercayaan peluang kedua kepada orang-orang macam kami supaya kami boleh bertahan, boleh berubah dan kami boleh cuba buat yang terbaik.
TV3 live stream on Tonton.
Welcome back. Sports badminton, the 2024 Paris Olympics. The badminton group stage draw ceremony, which included mixed doubles, women's singles and men's singles, concluded on Friday, with the national shuttlers drawn into their respective group stages. In the men's singles draw, national shuttler Li Zijia should have no problems clearing his group stage after the world number 7 was drawn in Group G with world number 72 Virenata Singhe of Sri Lanka and world number 63 Pablo Abian of Spain. However, things could get tricky for Zijia in the last 16, where he is expected to face Indonesia's Anthony Ginting. Meanwhile, world number 33 women's singles shuttler Goh Jin Wei has a difficult task to qualify for the last 16 after she was placed in Group H. And South Korea's world number 17 Kim Ga-eun and South Africa's Johanita Schultz. Women's doubles pair Pearly Tan and Tina also have their work cut out to escape the group. The world number 13 pair will face China's world number 1 Chen Qingchen Jia Yifan, Japan's world number 6 Mayu Matsumoto Wakana Nagahara, and Indonesia's Apriyani Rahayu Siti Fadia Ramadanti in Group A. There was a better draw, though, for world number 9 mixed doubles pair Chen Tangji To Iwei, as they will take on China's Feng Yangjie, Huang Dongping, Singapore's Terry He, Jessica Tan, and United States' Vincent Chiu, Jenny Gai in Group D. The men's doubles draw, meanwhile, has been postponed to a later date. Only the top 2 pairs from each group will reach the quarterfinals. Now on to tennis, the 2024 Wimbledon Championships. 7th-seeded Jasmine Paolini became the first Italian woman to reach the final after defeating Croatian Donna Vekic in the longest women's semi-final on Thursday. In a thrilling 3-set match, Paolini battled from a set down to overcome the Croatian 2-6, 6-4, 7-6 in 2 hours and 51 minutes. It was an astonishing achievement for the Italian, who had not won a tour-level match on grass until 15 days ago in Eastbourne. She'll next face Czech Barbora Krejcikova in a bid for the crown. Earlier, Krejcikova produced a comeback full of steel and resilience to reach her first final, showing unbending resistance in the face of an attacking barrage from Elena Rybakina to triumph in 3 sets. Despite losing in the first set 3-6, the 28-year-old came out fighting and held her nerve to upset the 2022 champion 6-3, 6-4. Cycling now, the 2024 Tour de France. History maker Biniam Girmay won stage 12 in a mass dash for the line, extending his lead in the sprint points race with his 3rd triumph so far. Intermarché Wanty rider Girmay became the first black African to win a stage on the Tour on the 3rd day of this year's edition in Turin and secured another victory on stage 8. He then proved fastest in a bunched sprint finish in stage 12, topping the podium ahead of Wout van Aert and Pascal Ackermann. His win consolidated his hold on the green jersey with a 107-point advantage over Jasper Philipsen. Podium contender Primož Roglič, meanwhile, dropped from 4th to 6th in the general classification after losing 2 minutes and 27 seconds to the leaders due to a late crash. Second victim of poison crackers incident dies. The details after this short break.
Apabila datang, ia boleh mengambil alih kesemuanya tubuh, minda dan hidup anda. Stres bukan sekadar tekanan perasaan tetapi boleh mengancam kesihatan secara keseluruhan. Kenalilah tanda-tanda stres sejak awal dan bincang mengenainya secara terbuka. Dapatkan sokongan moral dan emosi daripada orang di sekeliling anda serta bantuan profesional di saluran yang betul. Saksikan Hello Doktor Ahad 5.30 petang di TV3.
Doktor kata kalau cara yang terbaiknya pembedah lah. Ganti tulis lain. Tulis tu terpaksa kena gue lah. Tapi kos dia masa tu saya fikir doktor kata kos dia lah. Saya fikir nak cari duit kat mana. Tapi kita usahalah minta kebajikan hospital semua gitulah. Lebih tu sendirilah doktor kata kena bayar. Pergi kat kebajikan kata awak kena bayar juga separuh.
Welcome back. Another victim of the recent poison snacks incident in Kedah, 2-year-old Muhammad Lut Shauki Nur Sufian died on Friday, 2 days after his older brother's passing. Lut Shauki breathed his last at 1:24 p.m. while undergoing treatment at Pulau Pinang Hospital's Pediatric Intensive Care Unit. The mother of the two boys, 25-year-old Nur Ain Hasnur Rizal, said the body of her youngest son would be laid to rest near his brother's grave at Kampung Padang Ubi in Labu Besar Kulim. Despite her deep sorrow and pain from losing another child, Nur Ain said she accepted it as fate.
Saya pesan lah kat dia, tak apa, ibu reda, ikutlah abang, pergi main dengan abang kat sana kata kan. Lagi pun, kat dunia pun adik dengan abang, kat sana pun adik dengan abang kata. Sedih sangatlah orang kata kalau ikut tak mampu. Tapi tak apalah. Saya mak ada semua, ada family saya, ada sokong belakang saya. InsyaAllah saya kena kuat.
Both siblings had been receiving treatment at the hospital since Sunday after consuming snacks believed to be laced with rat poison and placed on a wire fence by an orchard owner to trap monkeys. Their mother found out about the incident later on the same day and her children started vomiting and foaming at the mouth. However, her 3-year-old son Muhammad Akil Shauki died on Wednesday after 78 hours of fighting for his life. Following the incident, a 33-year-old man has been remanded for 6 days to assist police investigations into the case under the Child Act and Penal Code. A trailer laden with bricks skidded and crashed on the Kuala Lumpur-Kara Expressway on Friday, spilling its load onto the highway. The 3:40 p.m. incident, which occurred along the Genting Sempah Gombak stretch, also caused multiple accidents involving several vehicles. Footage captured from dashboard cameras and smartphones showed the aftermath of the trailer crash, with bricks scattered across the highway, spanning approximately 4 kilometres, blocking lanes and causing traffic congestion in both directions. Based on the video, subsequent accidents involved at least one MPV and one car, with one motorcyclist injured. The cause of the incident is still being investigated. The father of Nur Rania Ashifa, also known as Baby Shifa, pleaded not guilty at the Kuala Lumpur Magistrate Court on Friday to a charge of misappropriating 67,000 ringgit belonging to a woman. 41-year-old Yusri Yusof was slapped with a charge before Magistrate Ili Mariska Khalizad. The social media influencer allegedly committed the offence at a premises located on Jalan Wangsa Delima 6, Wangsa Maju, from July 20th to October 12 last year. The charge under the Penal Code carries up to 5 years imprisonment, caning and a fine upon conviction. The court set bail at 6,000 ringgit with one surety and fixed August 26 for case mentioned. On July 10th, it was reported that police detained the man to assist in investigations relating to a fraud case involving legal fees. He was accused of embezzling public donations intended to support the family in obtaining legal representation after baby Shifa died in a care centre in February 2022. In Perlis, a 25-year-old woman and her 17-year-old friend pleaded not guilty in the Kangar Sessions Court on Friday to 2 charges of trafficking 2 underage girls for the purpose of sexual exploitation. Shakila Latif and the teenager both claimed trial after the charges were read before Judge Mushiri Pete, who fixed August 22nd for next mention of the case. The 2 accused allegedly trafficked 2 teenage girls aged 16 and 14 at a hotel on Pesiaran Jubli Emas on July 2nd. They were charged under the Anti-Trafficking in Persons and Anti-Smuggling of Migrants Act, which provides for life imprisonment or imprisonment for a period of not less than 5 years and can be whipped if convicted. Both accused were granted bail of 25,000 ringgit with one surety. The court also added conditions, including having the duo report to the nearest police station every month. To this edition of Nightline, let's take a look as some 100 climbers from around the world gathered in London's Canary Wharf district to compete head-to-head on a 16-metre-high climbing wall over the River Thames. With that, I'm Nadia Azmi. Thank you for tuning in and take care.